What is the Statute of Frauds? The Statute of Frauds is a name commonly given to the 1677 English statute that is entitled An Act for the Prevention of Frauds and Perjuries. The multifarious provisions of this celebrated statute appear to be distributed under the following heads. 1. The creation and transfer of estates and land, both legal and equitable, such as that common law could be effected by parole, i.e., without deed. 2. Certain cases of contracts which at common law could be validly made by oral argument. 3. Additional solemnities in cases of wills. 4. New liabilities imposed in respect of real estate held in trust. 5. The disposition of estates pour autre vie. 6. The entry and effect of judgments and executions. The first and second heads, however, comprise all that in the common professional use of the term is meant by the Statute of Frauds. And they present this important feature, characterizing and distinguishing all the minor provisions which they both contain, i.e., that whereas prior to their enactment the law recognized only two great classes of contracts, conveyances, etc., those which were by deed and those which were by parole, including under the latter term alike what was written and what was oral. These provisions introduced into the law a distinction between written parole and oral parole transactions, and rendered a writing necessary for the valid performance of the matters to which they relate. Those matters are the following: conveyances, leases, and surrenders of interests in lands, declarations of trust of interests in lands, special promises by executors or administrators to answer damages out of their own estate, special promises to answer for the debt, default, or miscarriage of another, agreements made upon consideration of marriage, contracts for the sale of lands, tenements or hereditaments, or any interest in or concerning them, agreements not to be performed within the space of 1 year from the making thereof, contracts for the sale of goods, wares, and merchandise for the price of £10 sterling or upwards. All these matters must be by the statute put in writing, signed by the party to be charged or his attorney. In regard of contracts for the sale of goods, wares, and merchandise, the payments of earnest money or the acceptance and receipt of part of the goods, etc., dispenses with the written memorandum. The substance of the statute, as regards the provisions above referred to, has been reenacted in almost all the states of the Union, and in many of them other points coming with the same general policy, but not embodied in the original English statute, have been made the subject of more recent enactments, as for instance the requirement of writing to hold a party upon a representation as to the character, credit, etc. of a third person. The legislation of the different states of these matters will be found collected in the appendix to Brown's Treatise on the Statute of Frauds.